of his wife, but rather total compliance to the order of Allah. And when he was out of sight, he breaks down and he cries to Allah. On the other hand, the mother continues suckling her child. I quote the riwayat of Bukhari. She continues suckling her child. And she drinks from the water and she eats from the dates. Till comes the time, نَفِذَ مَا فِي السِّقَى. The dates are exhausted, the water is exhausted. Hence there's no more milk for her to suckle her child. So she puts the child down. And the riwayat suggests, جَعَلَ يَتَمَرَّغْ وَيَضْرِبُ بِنَفْسِهِ إِلَى الْأَرْضِ. Sayyidina Ismail alayhi salam started hitting his Mubarak hands on the ground and he started rolling out of hunger. The mother looking at this, the sight becomes unbearable. She turns her gaze away. She cannot see her child. The husband is gone. My focus is what one pious woman can do and how one pious woman can enhance a relation and how she can contribute to the society. So she stands up, she leaves her child, an unbearable sight for the mother. She runs and she climbs onto Mount Safa. Not the Safa that you and I have, or where the pilgrims will converge in these days, which is tiled, which is aircon, where there is a buzzing atmosphere. But rather it is a Safa, which is a barren land, where there is no human, there is absolutely no food, no provisions. She runs from Safa to Marwa, sa'y al-insan al-majhoon. And she's turning for help, asking if there's any form of assistance. She runs from Safa to Marwa. Certain places she walks, certain places she runs. Allah was so impressed by the sacrifice of this woman that Allah ordered us to imitate and emulate her precisely. Allah said, where she walked, you walk. Where she ran, you run. In total compliance and resemblance to the running of Sayyidatina Hajar alayhi salam. When she finally, for the 7th time, from Safa she comes onto Marwa, she hears out a voice. So she addresses this person, wherever you are, I have heard you, if you can aid me, come down. Brothers, this is the riwayat of Bukhari Sharif. Finally this angel comes down, and then he strikes his wing. فَضَرَبَ بِجَنَاحِهِ. He strikes his wing on the ground, and the water gushes forth. She hastens towards the water. She gives the soothing, cooling water. She drinks from it. She gives it to her child. The angel then tells Sayyidatina Hajra alayhi salam, لَا تَخَافُوا الضَّيْعَ. Do not fear destruction for this family. فَإِنَّهَا هُنَا بَيْتًا. Very close by here will be the greatest house of Allah. And this infant and his father will build that house. يَبْنِي هَذَا الْغُلَامُ وَأَبُوهُ. Allah has a bright future for this little boy. Don't become nervous by the current crisis. Allah is going to have His greatest home built here. And it will be this little infant with his father that will build this. Anyway, they start living there and they have this water. They drink from the water. And of course, while they had some provisions, they wanted to get into contact with people. One caravan of Jurhum, from a tribe called Jurhum, they were passing by. And they seen a bird circling above the water. So immediately they said, إِنَّ هَذَا الطَّائِرْ لَيَدُورُ عَلَى الْمَاءِ. If there is a bird circling here, that means there's water and there are people here. So these people came close, they found water, they found Sayyidatina Hajra alayhi salatu wassalam, and they asked her permission, أَتَأْذَنِينَ لَنَا أَن نَنزِلَ عِنْدَكَ. Do you permit us? We also want to station ourselves here. Sayyidatina Hajra alayhi salam, who was much anticipating people so that there can be some social contact, she more than happily agreed. However, she made one condition, that the water will remain our authority and we will have access to the water. We will not deprive you, but we will have access and authority over the water. They were more than happy and they also stationed themselves here. The riwayat continue that in due time Sayyidina Ismail alayhi salam grew up and he started having a close relation with this little family, this caravan that came and stationed themselves here. And وَتَعَلَّمَ الْعَرَبِيَّةِ. He learned the beautiful, eloquent language of Arabic. And in this process, as he was growing up and he became a teenager, مَاتَتْ أُمُّ إِسْمَاعِيل. This woman passes away. Sayyidina Ismail alayhi salatu wassalam was then married to a girl from this Jurhum tribe. فَزَوَّجُوهُ إِمْرَأَةً مِّنْهُمْ. He was then, got married to a woman from this Jurhum tribe. He was familiar with them. They were familiar with Ismail alayhi salatu wassalam. And they were living together. Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salatu wassalam was out on the command of Allah. One day Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam returns and he comes home. And he comes to the house of his son. He doesn't disclose who he is, but rather he disguises himself. He knocks on the door, his daughter-in-law opens, knowing not that this is my father-in-law. She opens the door, he inquires, is Ismail present? That is the son. She answers in the negative, no, خَرَجَ يَبْتَغِي لَنَا. My husband is gone out to earn some livelihood. The elderly man then asks, how's your conditions at home? Are you people stable in your relation? Are you happy with the way life is carrying on? So she complains and she says, no, we are not happy and we're going through a lot of problems and a lot of financial difficulties and things are not going well with us and there's a lot of adversity. So this elderly person then tells his daughter-in-law, Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam, إِذَا جَاءَ زَوْجُكِ. And she complained, Lord, when your husband returns, فَقْرَئِ عَلَيْهِ السَّلَامِ, then convey my regards to your husband, وَقُولِ لَهُ, and tell him, يُغَيِّرْ عَتَبَةَ بَابِهِ, that when he comes back, convey my salams, and tell him that I came here, and my advice is he must change his doorstep. So the woman agreed, and that was good enough. The elderly person then returned and went away. Sayyidina Ismail alayhi salam returns in the evening. He returns in the evening. As soon as he comes, he sensed that there was someone home. كَأَنَّهُ آنَسَ شَيْئًا. He asked his wife, هَلْ جَاءَكُم مِّنْ أَحَدٍ? Did we have any visitor today? She says, yes, جَاءَنَا شَيْخٌ كَذَا وَكَذَا. We had an elderly man that came, and he asked about you. I said, you were out. Then he asked about our condition. I spelled it out loud and clear that we are not having a good life, and we are facing a lot of adverse conditions. Sayyidina Ismail alayhi salatu wasalam then asked, did this elderly person give you any advice? Hal awsaki bi shay? So she says, yes, he advised me that I must convey his regards to you, and I must also tell you, you must change your doorstep. Now subhanallah, look at the compliance of this young boy. And perhaps, may I implore to the youth that have gathered here, wallah, if you want to secure joy in your marriages, invoke the blessings of your parents. I am inundated with calls of youth who regret going against and violating the requests of their parents. I know of a recent person, a very professional person. He says, Maulana, wallah, I have learned the hard way. In my life, I will never venture into anything until my parents are not happy. I got married to a woman contrary to the wishes of my parents. Till today, I'm seeing the repercussion of going against the will of my parents. Ismail alayhi salam tells his wife, ذَاكَ أَبِي, for your information, that was my father. Wa alaykum salam, to his regards. And when he told me to change the doorstep, reference was towards you, that I must divorce you. Hence, I formally, officially divorce you. You can now go live with your family. Ilhaqi bi ahlik, you can now go and live with your family. Like in Arabic, they say, there's an Arabic couplet, they don't get married to 6 type of women. لا تنكح أنانة ولا منانة ولا حنانة ولا حداقة ولا شداقة ولا براقة. لا تنكح أنانة. Don't get married to a woman that is always complaining, always moaning, always groaning. Every time she has a problem, and every time the marriage sees a problem, she talks, I would have rather responded to that particular proposal. Like they say, marriage is a process of finding out the type of wife, the type of husband your wife would have preferred. Marriage is a process of finding out the type of husband your wife would have preferred. لا تنكح أنانة. Do not get married to a woman that is always complaining. منانة, a woman that reminds you of her favors. I've done this for you, I've done this for you, I do so much for you. Don't get married to such a woman. منانة. حنانة, a woman who after losing her first husband, then get remarries and abuses the wealth of the second husband on the children of the first husband. حنانة. حداقة, a woman who attracts other men towards her with loose morals. She uses a seductive approach towards strange men and not towards her own husband. Haddaqatan, shaddaqatan, a woman who is only beautifying herself, only adorning herself, only in the cosmetic industry. And barraqatan, a woman who has a foul tongue. So 6 people you should never marry. Nevertheless,